All right, so I guess, yeah, I guess it's the beginning of the recording now. Okay, so I already went over the homework and made sure you did it. I mean, you added some bridge records. I think I would have liked a lot more of them because, you know, just sort by student. I mean, this student has 2 classes. I guess that's fine. This guy has 1 class. This guy has 1 class. This guy has, I mean, I would have just put more. That's okay, because I'm about to show you something really cool that's way faster than just manually putting in numbers here. And it's not going to be a part of the assignment. I'm just going to show you basically something. Like, I'm basically going to show you some future stuff, which, again, I'm not going to make you do it on your own. But I just want you to see, like, what's possible, just like from an it's very educational for you to see, like, how it's typically done. So I'm just going to show you that in a minute. And we also, what else? I think I asked you to do professor tenure, and you added a new field. So great job on that. You were able to create a new field over here. I'm just going to check it out. Yep. I'm going to get rid of this. We're not going to do pictures. Don't need that. I mean, maybe we'll do pictures later, but that's not important right now. So over here, yeah, and you even make the drop down. Wonderful, wonderful. Now you make this drop down by typing stuff in, I'm pretty sure, which is fine. That's valid.
No,
there's a better way to do that. So you.
Wait, what do you mean typing stuff in?
Yeah, see, you did row source, and you basically type stuff in like this. Totally fine, totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
But there's actually a better way to do this. And you're only going to be able to do that once you know how to query, which you don't know yet. So for now, totally fine. So I already have some notes here. We did your accent mark thing yesterday. It has nothing to do with access. Regroup to discuss homework. Okay, we've done that. And UI-based bridges, right? So, okay, so this is that little tangent I was telling you about, a little kind of off the lesson stuff. This is just stuff for next lesson. We're going to cut that off. It's not a part of it right now. That's today's homework. Right, so here's a little detour. UI-based bridges. And so I made this little form. I'll just make it again because I did it right before we actually started recording. Probably should have recorded it, but I just hit Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, and then I renamed this to Form Students Advanced. It's literally the same thing. So if I go, oh, that's right, we didn't make a nice form for this. Crap. Okay. All right, so here's what I'll do. I'm just gonna like very quickly make it a little bit nicer because this is just not that nice. It's really not nice at all. I mean, now that you can see like what it can look like, you're probably thinking to yourself, you know, why would we ever make a form that looks like this, right? Doesn't this look terrible?
Yeah, well, compared to what we made, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, look, I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know how else to say it. It's just, this is just not very professional looking, you know? It doesn't look great. I don't want last name, I don't want first name labels. We're just gonna, what I'm gonna do is, bring that out. And I guess I don't have to get really fancy right now because this is just kind of, again, I'm just like showing you something right now that's just gonna be kind of a way for you to see something a little bit different. This is not gonna be, again, you're not gonna have to do this on the homework or anything like that. So don't worry about understanding everything that I'm doing right now. All you need to know is that, well, I mean, there's nothing you need to know right now. All you need to know is that we're working with students. I'm making a nice little form for students. We're gonna get rid of record selectors. I hate record selectors. Where is it? It's in format. Oh, I gotta go form view. You could have corrected me on that. I wasn't in form view. Record selectors, no. Navigation buttons, no. That's probably good. Hit save. That's what we're working with. All right, all right. I kind of don't like the way this looks, so we're just gonna copy a little bit of what I did from here just to make it look a little bit better because this looks terrible. I think I'm gonna take these. I think I can just take these. I don't think I even need to rebind. I think they won't retain their commands. Let's find out. I'm gonna find out in a second. Table students, it's a terrible name for a form. I can do that. Let's put these buttons in here. Let's just see if they work. If I press new record, delete, yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. New record, blah, 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 new record. All right, let's see if they popped up in the students table. Yes, they did. Cool. Okay, so this works. So it works for me to just steal those little things. I'm going to steal these two because I want those two. Students form. You see me taking a lot of shortcuts right now, by the way. This is not how I recommend. Oops, advanced students. That's fine. You're seeing me like do things very quick and dirty. I don't recommend you work in this way. I'm just working in this way because, again, this is just a quick and dirty thing. So I'm going to show you something cool. Let's bring up the footer.
That was quick as hell.
No. All I did was copy this. I went Control C, and all I did is hit Control V, and it pops in. So same thing with all this. Like I didn't have to do all the work because I just copied it from here. That doesn't always work because apparently it just carries over the commands. I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to carry over the commands, but look, if you look and I hit View, like it just knows to go through them because like that's exactly how it works on the other one, and it just brought over all the commands. But it doesn't always bring that over because I mean it depends, right? Like I'm not really going to go into detail right now, but like it kind of depends. It doesn't always, like you can't just copy paste buttons and then the buttons just automatically know what to do. Like that is not a good strategy. Again, it's a very quick and dirty that I'm doing right now. So just, just don't worry about all the details, but I'm just quickly making a student's form so that I can show you something else cool. All right, cool, students. I don't like that icon, go. All right, what else? Right, we wanted to have, okay, I think, were we gonna do subform? Yeah, I think we're gonna do subforms. So I'm gonna make a subform, let's go here. And you're not gonna learn subforms until later, but I'm just doing a quick one right now because, don't worry about it. I'll explain my reasoning later. Let's restore, it's a little bit too big. I'm just going to come over here to the properties. The data set we're going to want is, uh-oh. We're going to have to establish a link. Okay. I'm not going to do that yet, but we are going to have to establish a link. What we're going to do first is, okay, so first we're going to just establish what record set. We'll say classes. All right, I already don't like the way this is going, but I haven't done this in so long, I don't even remember if I'm doing this right. So I guess we'll find out. Guess we'll find out. Let's see, class name. And we're gonna have to do a query for that. Okay, no. I know what we're gonna do now. That's a mistake on my part. You wanna query it? Yes, I do. Blah, blah, blah. I should just be writing straight SQL, but I'm gonna use the GUI just so you can see me do it this way. Let's also bring it. Let's say, I'm gonna say, give me liberty or give me death. Give me the class name, yes. Beautiful. And while we're at it, give me the student ID. Is that student ID? Yes, it is. This one should be first. You know what? Also, we should have the class ID. I always return IDs. It's just a good practice. There we go. And you know what? While we're here, we might as well return the student name as well. Oh my God. Oops. Student first, student last, and let's just swap this. Oops, nope, actually I didn't want to do that. There we go. And we'll put this here. Wonderbar. All right. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, this is what I want. And let's say view. And let's close this. We're good. Hit save. Queries in. Start dropping in fields. And the only ones I'm going to pull are the import, or the ones I want, which is that one. All I care about is that. Actually, no, hold on. I care about I'm gonna have to go with continuous, aren't I? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I'll have to go continuous. Okay, we'll do continuous. That's fine. We can do that. Let's say record type. No, not that. That's correct. What the format? Yes, the format. Continuous. Yes. That's I like it. Ah, beautiful. That's exactly what I want. Just drop in class name. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get rid of the label. We don't need that. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this with a combo box. That's right. Combo box. Go away. We're going to bind this to. Yeah, this is definitely, like I was saying earlier, this is definitely going to be like a little 20-minute detour. I apologize. This is like, I just feel like you should see like kind of because I made you do this, right? I made you work with numbers, and I probably should be doing this off cam because it's going to waste a lot of our time. But I just want you to see that you don't have to like assign classes by doing these numbers. I mean, you already knew that, right? But I want you to see that like kind of what it looks like once you, well, you'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, what I want here is we're going to bind to column 1. Oh, what does my data look like? That's the data of the combo box. We're binding it to class ID, bind column, oh, row source, right. Row source is going to be classes. Yep, okay. Say class ID, class name. Yep, all right, cool, fantastic. That's exactly what I want. So yes. Bind to column 1, yes, but the display column should actually not be column 1. Display column should be column 2. How do I do that? Let's see what it looks like. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want. But the display is wrong. I've got to fix that. So let's say bound column. Yeah, that's fine, but that's not what I want. What I want is, oh, you know what? I'll display both columns. I'll have the ID and the, yeah, that's perfect. Watch this. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I want. That's beautiful. Actually, no, well, we shouldn't have the ID. Let's it doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter. We'll just do 1. List rows 16. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. All right, what we want is binding, though. We want to bind to the name of the class. We want to have it. Actually, I mean, we want to bind to the ID, but what I mean is we want to display the name even though it's bound to the actual ID. So what I mean by that is, come on, where is it? Show only rows first value. There's a setting where you can pick what's displayed. And that's what I want to find. So form, maybe it's in format. No. I'm gonna have to read through all this. I can't just like click around and find it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. None of this is what I want. Reading order, is this what I want? No, it's not it. No. Come on, how do you do that again? I forgot how to do it. When you basically want to bind to one thing but display another. Come on, don't make me do this with numbers. All right, we're gonna have to call on our good friend Google in a second if I can't figure this out. Was it list with column headers? No. Column widths? No. Hmm. I really don't want to have to do this by class name because that is the wrong way to do it. But I might have to because I don't remember where the values. What does this do? What does this do? Where's the little thing that hovers? No, none of those are it. No, those are definitely not it. It's either in data or format. It's got to be in format. And it's not that though. There's a thing that where you specify. Oh, okay, I remember. You want to say 2 columns, and you want to make the first one 0, and you want to make the second one 1. And then on top of that, you also want to. See, watch this. Yeah, see. That's what you want. I'm pretty sure that's what I needed to do, but let me just double check that. Column headers. No. Row list. Okay. Column count is 2. Yeah. Okay. By the width, say that. Okay. Cool. And yeah, and there you go. Okay. Cool. That's what I was trying to do. Cool. Okay. Wow, that took way too long. So now let's drop in our subform, and let's just bring. Oh, get rid of this label. Just bring that right there. Oops. There we go. Cool. That's exactly what I want. But we'll make this a little bit bigger because why not? And we'll make this a little bit wider, just a little bit. And we're also going to, let's hit save, okay. And let's also, what is the other thing I wanted to do? We need to link these. Yeah, oh wow, it just linked it automatically? Oh, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. I didn't even link it. Okay, well, let me just make sure that's the right link because I didn't do that. It looked like it did it automatically. So let's just make sure it did it right. Right, let's see if it linked it correctly. Data. Yeah, it linked it on student ID. It did it automatically for me. That is so crazy. Office, you so smart. Okay, so we can allow, yeah, I'm gonna allow that. And you know what? We need little deletions, don't we? Don't we? So let's go ahead and drop a little delete button in there. Right into our little subform. Button. Make you. And we're gonna use the wizard, even though I say don't use wizards, we're gonna do it anyway. How do I do that again? Event, one click. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. No, okay, no, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm just gonna take this. Bam. No. There we go. It's a cheater's way to do it. I mean, you could call it cheating. I call it efficiency. No such thing as cheating with programming. It's just doing things fast or not doing things fast. All right, so it's advanced student form. You delete a class. Let's take Jade out of programming. Are you sure? Yes. And we'll put her back in programming. Where's programming? Bam. Oh, no, I can't do it. Why not? Control can't be edited. It's bound to auto number. Why? Let me take her out. I can't put her in. Oh. Hmm. You see, I can see everybody's classes just like this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, and you can just delete a class. Oh, no, don't do that. Well, I took her out, but I'm trying to put her back into programming, and it's saying it can't because it's bound to auto number class ID. And so what that's telling me though is that even though this is bound, the subform is bound by student ID. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like make a. Okay, I see what I'm gonna have to do. You have to make a separate form to do that. Okay. Well, we're not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna manually put her in using the bridge. Let's see, who was that student again? Oh, it's professors. Who's that student? Student 1 was in class 22, right? So you had 1, just like that. Oh, oops, didn't undo. You cannot add it because a related record is required. What? There? Oh, haha. Got that backwards. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I ran into an issue with that when I was trying to use the bridge. I was like, what's going wrong? I realized that there wasn't a certain amount of classes, so I couldn't put that number in.
Yeah, if that number doesn't exist, you can't do it. All right, so anyway, because you have referential integrity, and I'll explain what that means some other time. So remember how I made you do it all in here? All that stuff? You can just do it right here. You can just do it in this advanced students form. You can put students in classes right here. You just pick one.
So it's like a bridge form.
Exactly. It's basically the same thing as the bridge, but it's like a form. You can just go whatever student you want. And we're going to do a similar thing for classes where you can just like pick students off a list to add them and take them off.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, this is not how people do work. Obviously, I mean, you know that. But this is how they do it. They just like pick things off menus. And right now it's not letting me add people, but that's because of the way I set it up. But like normally you would be able to like just kind of, you know, bam, just like that. So I just wanted to show you that, and I just kind of whipped this together real fast. Obviously I didn't do it completely correctly. I'm actually really curious why right now why it's not working. Because this is correct. It's all linked up. See, the bridge links it together. I mean, what it's doing basically though is when it's creating a new record, it doesn't know what student ID to choose, which is, I guess I kind of understand that. It's just kind of weird because, and the way you can kind of expose that and like even tell that that's what it's doing is you just put like little, you can put like, you just put the fields there. You'd be like, okay, what student ID are you using? What class ID are you using? And then you just go like that, and you can even see like, well, what it is. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Let's take away these labels. There we go. Now I can see. And you know what? We'll even put the bridge ID. Hold on a second. Oh, I don't have the bridge ID. Interesting.
I don't think the bridge has an ID.
Oh, it does. Every table has an ID. See? Bridge ID.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I personally make sure every table has a bridge. It's just something, I mean, an ID. It's just something I do. Technically, I mean, you don't have to. I think it's a good idea. Also, I didn't have to pick off a menu to get the fields. I could have just did that and it pops in, but you know, there are many ways. That's one of the cool things about Access is there's so many ways to do the exact same thing. So many ways. So if you're not like understanding something, like there's like a million ways to do it. Even like the little button, right? Where I was like figuring out like, oh, how do I make this button? It said macro, code, expressions, and you can even use a wizard. So like there's like 4 different ways you could do it. And it's so many ways to do everything. Where was I? Right, bridge ID. That in. And so, yeah, this is why I think it's such a great teaching tool because it's just like there's so many ways to do everything. Okay, so you remember that little bridge I was showing you earlier that we made? Now, if you look at it, you can see that like in the back end, I'm just like making these show up. They don't really exist. Like in the real world, we would just only show people this. Like, oops, here's the class, here's the little delete button. No one would ever see this stuff. In fact, we're just gonna make it red, so it's like super obvious that like we're not actually gonna put this in the final design. I'm just like I'm just doing it this way for like right now, so you can just kind of see that like, you know, this is, yeah, like this is kind of what's happening in the background. So, you know, your users, your people who use your little system, they're gonna just be like, oh, here's the little classes you can put in. Hold on, this was a little dumb on my part. People are gonna be so confused. You never want to confuse people. Make it very obvious that these are classes. You don't want to just have like some random drop down. People won't know what that means. So make that smaller. Text black. There we go. Ah, it's so much better, right? Not
Yeah.
even students. We'll just make a student view. There we go. Bam. Gives a little more space. Go. Yeah, student view. Okay, we got this student here, and there's their classes, right? It's so easy to understand. So instead of like typing these numbers, I'm kind of repeating myself, but can you see what's happening here?
Yes.
Instead of using this, you're just kind of, these numbers are just kind of doing the work in the back, even though like the user sees all this and like all this, really it's just a bunch of numbers in the back, right? Like that's how everything's being linked up. So what I couldn't understand is like, how come I can't pick a class off there? Because I was imagining that I was gonna fill these in for me, but like apparently it's not doing that. So I mean, there are other ways to do it. In fact, the way I would do it is have like a little add button, like right here, like add a class button. And when you click that, a little menu pops up and lets you do it. I'm not going to write all that out right now. But the point is you can see it, and that's kind of all I wanted to do. This was a little 20-minute detour I was showing you, is that this is how it's eventually going to look. People are, in fact, it's going to even look even better than that. It's going to have a little bit of space right there. There we go, a little tighter now. Ooh, and I want a little bit of space. Ugh, I don't like that. Or actually, you know what? Space is fine, but I'm just going to take the outline off. Let's go to format. And as you can see, this is taking me a lot of time, right? Like, and this is why, you know, they pay programmers good money. It takes us time to like do all this stuff. All these little adjustments you're seeing, like someone has to take time and like put everything everywhere. I mean, it's a little bit different for web programming because you got like libraries and frameworks and all sorts of fun things to like help you do it faster. And actually, you know, Access has that stuff too. Like I'm actually doing this like really fast. Like we're putting together a full-on school system, like really, like this is kind of crazy actually. Like no one puts together a school system this fast. I'm the best, folks. So fast, like you wouldn't believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back on track. Just move this over. Anyway, the point I'm making is that like, you know, that people will pay you to like take the time to do all these little details. Because they don't even understand. Like people will just see like this screen and they're like, what the heck are you doing? You know, like it looks familiar, but they have no idea what you're doing. Okay, hold on. Let's adjust this. A little bit of space there. And a little bit of space there. Save. Okay. Oh no, I don't like this scroll bar here. Hold on. I don't like that. Bah, there we go. Perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. I really wish I could fix this right now, but I ain't gonna fix this right now. It's too well, I mean, I guess I could fix it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. All right, so that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. What do you think? What do you think of this advanced students view?
I mean, it looks good. Obviously, we're going to get rid of the stuff in the red lettering, like you were saying. But you did it so fast, like.
But like you saw how I did it, right? Like I just copied some stuff that we already had on like the professor's forum. Like I stole these buttons.
Yeah, that part, yeah. I mean, the copying part I get. I mean, I can't even copy that fast. But the part I didn't get was a query because you went over that so fast.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. We're gonna. Okay, so now that you've seen what a query is, I'm gonna show you how to make one. So I just made a really, and again, this is the beautiful thing about Access. And this is what today's lesson really is about. And maybe we should take a break before we do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should take a break.
One quick question before we take a break.
Yeah. Go.
What did that one query that you were showing me, what did that query do? Because I don't really have the chance to really look at it.
Oh.
What did that query actually do?
Good question. You want to explain it to you? I'll explain it to you real fast. In fact, I'm gonna explain this to you anyway in the next part. But I basically needed that query to, okay, you know, it'll be faster to show you. Go classes. Do you remember what was in that query at all?
No.
All right,
I
don't
think
worry.
IDs, I think.
Yeah, IDs. It was these IDs, but it was more than just that, right? Okay, so let me just explain to you what happened in that query. And I'm going to explain it. The reason I'm opening all these little boxes is because I'm going to explain it to you the same way I explained relationships to you. So, do you remember the relationships over here? This.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you remember when I told you that when you link two things, you need a bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we wanted to do is understand if you take a student, what classes do they have? Or if you take a class, what students does it have? And you do that with the bridge. That all sound familiar?
Yeah.
Now the bridge doesn't have things like the names of the students or the names of the classes. All the bridge tells you is what is the relationship between these things. You understand? That's why it's called relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's take a look at the actual data over here. Here's your bridge. Here are your classes. And here are your students. So again, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I really want this to sink in for you because it's a very important concept. This bridge table right here, all it does is show you how these students are related to these classes. And I made you work with this table because you can even tell me right now if I say, hey, what class is Jade in? You're able to tell me by reading this relationship, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so tell me, what class is she in?
She is in programming and algebra 2.
Do you just remember that? How do you know that?
Oh, and she's also, wait, no, not algebra 2. Yeah.
You were
Algebra
able to
2,
know that just by reading this relationship, but how did you do that?
because I know the IDs.
Exactly, you know the IDs. Okay, so that's what a query does, is it gets all that information, or, well, okay. A query basically is to get information from a bunch of places at once. So you had to kind of like read the IDs over here, right? And then you had to read the IDs over here, and then you had to read this, and then you had to read this. A query brings it all together in one place.
Oh, okay. Which
So,
was the bridge form, right?
exactly. But that's just the form. That's not like the query. So I'll show you. Let's go to that query that I made in that bridge form. Just go over here. Let's go to the data. Let's go to SQL view. This is going to be a SQL query that we're going to do. Let's go create. Query. Right, I'm going to do a query. So basically, I'm going to write some code, or basically what I did was I didn't write this code, I actually used the wizard, but the point, let's just pretend I did. I basically wrote some code that says, read these IDs and go over there and find out what names are for those IDs. Then read these IDs and figure out what names are for those IDs. And then that's what this code says to do. And then when you view it, it ends up looking like this.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know there's no good explanation for that. When you look at this query is not a table. And you know why it's not a table? There's a symbol for table right there. You see that?
Yeah.
This is a table for query.
Okay.
I mean, the symbol. This is the symbol for query. That's the symbol for a table. That's the symbol for a query. A query is not your data. A query is like a form. It's just a view of your data. Do you remember that conversation we had?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these because if you look, you might say, oh, where's this table? This is not a table. This is just a view of your tables. And so basically I said, I want the IDs, class student bridge ID from there. I want the student ID from here. I want the class ID from here. I want the names from over there, and I want the classes from over there. So I basically told it, hey, all you guys are related, but here's the information I want from each of you. And it brought it all into one place.
Okay.
And you can only do queries like this, like bringing everything together, if they are related. So if you look, they're all related. And so you need to say, hey, read this class ID and tell me the class name that's right there. Read this student ID, tell me the student name that's over there. And so since all these tables are related, you can say, yep, I want all this to come together in one place. And if you sort by, let's sort by last name. There you go. Jade's in these classes, Trevor's in these classes, April's in these classes, Rana's in these classes. See that?
Yeah.
So instead of you like having to fumble around with numbers, the magic of queries lets you bring it all into one place. And you just can read this like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the querying is all about.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's actually not super. I mean, I'm sure the like making the code for the query is complicated, but
Oh, it's not.
what the query actually does is actually like pretty understandable.
Good. All right, let's take a break here then, and then I'm going to show you how to make this code. And you may look at this code and be like, oh, wow, that looks so hard. It can be. It can be hard, but we're going to show you the easy way to do it. And this is why I run Access, because Access, I'm telling you, there's like a million ways to do everything. And there's this way to do it, which I could write up this code right now, or you could do it the fast way, which is what I'm going to show you. So we're going to take a break right now. Come back in, or I will restart a new session in 5 minutes. So I'm just going to stop this for now.
Okay.
All right.